Biafra. We are the indigenous people of Biafra, led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and deputized by Mazi Uche Mefo. We are here with a mandate to restore the land of the rising sun, Biafra. And this morning we are reaching you from Biafra land. We are here to ensure that you get the daily happenings. It's very important. And of course, we are here to debunk the lies. There are lots of lies that have been told by our enemies. There are lots of lies that have been going on in the contraption. But on this platform, we expose the lies, because Biafra Television is a place where lies are exposed. So we urge you to call your friends, invite your friends, everyone to join you this morning. It's very, very important. Like I said, we are reaching from Biafra land this morning. I am Ngozi Chukwuka. I have with me in the studio this morning Mazi Riako. Good morning. You're welcome. Of course, Mazi Bright Riako will be analyzing this morning. He will be educating us on what we have here. A very important issue we will be discussing this morning. Of course, like I said earlier, we are going to be looking at a very important issue. And all you need to do is to share this program, ensure no one is left behind. Ensure your friends are watching with you. Ensure your brothers are watching with you, because we've ensured we reach out to you through all means possible. That is why we are on our satellite TV, we are on Facebook, we're on Periscope, we're on Twitter, YouTube, everywhere. So you also have to do your own bit by sharing this program. It's very, very important. Keep sharing the program to ensure your friends are watching with you. Then, for the benefit of those in Biafra land, we are also transmitting concurrently on Radio Biafra London. We are on Radio Biafra London. Of course, our people at home can listen to us via Radio Biafra London. It's very, very important to tell them to tune into our radio station right now so that they can hear us. It's important because the world needs to hear us. Our people as well need to know what is happening in our environment. It's very, very important. Once again, I am Ngozi Chukwuka and you are welcome to this program this morning. We are going to be looking at a very important topic. Like I said, we knew what happened a few days back. Some Biafran Jews were arrested where they were celebrating and of course protesting, of course, against the ill treatment being meted on the Biafran Jews in the contraption called Nigeria. And of course, according to report, over 51 of them were arrested just for protesting peacefully. And it's a thing of concern to the world. The world, I think, needs to be put on alert. The world needs to be put on notice to know what is going on. So, Mazi Riako, what do you have to say about the Jewish, the Biafran Jews who are protesting in the streets, celebrating, of course, and you know, since the reappearance of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they've not celebrated, they've done nothing. That was exactly what they were doing, and also using the opportunity to call on the world to support the Biafra referendum. And all of a sudden, over 51 of them were arrested, so many of them injured. Live bullets were used on them. What do you think?
The arrest, and of course, when it's not an arrest, the abduction.
They were abducted.
You're looking at the same oppressive government, the same government that have hated us for our identity. There is no other reason why our brothers and sisters were abducted, if not because of our identity, because of our Jewish heritage. And that is exactly not just the reason why they came to the streets, why they were on a procession. That's not the problem of the Nigerian government. They arrested them because they don't want to see us. They don't want anything about us. They don't want our identity to be known. They don't want us to celebrate our identity. So the reason why they keep persecuting us is about persecution, because this is not the first time they have done this. They have always done this to us. And of course, they keep doing it. And this time around, they have done it again, because they have been persecuting us for who we are. We are the indigenous people of Biafra. And of course, we are fighting to restore the land of the rising sun, Biafra land. And that is what we have seen, what have been happening to us in the evil contraction they call Nigeria, because Nigeria is not a country. They try to force us to be in Nigeria when we are not Nigerians. We are the indigenous people of Biafra, and we owe nobody any apology. We don't owe any apology to anybody anywhere in the world for being who we are. We were born the way we are now. We have the right to live. So it is an oppressive government that they try to call Nigeria. And Nigeria is not a government, it's not a country. And they try to make it one by suppressing and oppressing the indigenous people. So this is just because they don't want us to celebrate our identity. And of course, they have continued in the, this is not the first time, you know, all the while when we talk about the indigenous people of Biafra, the only thing we have known in Nigeria is death. Nigeria represents death. And of course, they have been given all kinds of weapons, all kinds of ammunition to kill the indigenous people, to oppress and suppress us anytime we come out to celebrate our identity. That is exactly what you see that's going on in Umuahia right now.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So now let's look at the event that went for the protests. Is it worth arresting people?
Because
now it wasn't an IPOB, because if it were an IPOB protest, you know, they said IPOB have been proscribed. But then let's look at it from this angle. These people were not, they were just Jews, Biafran Jews, not IPOB protest. So why would they be arrested? Well, they weren't proscribed.
Well, you see, the Nigerian oppressive government, when you look at IPOB, look at the Jewish state of Biafra, look at the Biafran Jews, you cannot really separate. What is important is that we are celebrating our identity. Because when you look at the Jewish state of Biafra, you look at the indigenous people of Biafra, you look at the adherents of Judaism, of course, you see them on procession. You know, we talk about our heritage. There's no crime anywhere on earth that we have committed. All the while, it is on record that we have not committed any crime. Whether we come and, of course, in our street protest, demanding for our freedom, demanding for our referendum, or we come on the religious, our religious attire, or, you know, like what you saw, is that we appeared in our religious regalia, and that is just what is scaring them. They don't want us to celebrate our identity. They want us to hide. They want us to go and die in shame and not raise our head. So it's not about the anything. It's about suppressing our identity. It's just about this same oppressive government we are talking about, because there is no crime. You know, we are simply marching in the streets of Biafra, which we have right to. This Biafra land is our land. Do you know that in the evil contraction, there are a lot of religious bodies that you see on the streets every day? Some of them are there with their open crusades. Like this is December, you see a lot of them having an end of the year rallies, end of the year celebration, one thing or the other. Of course, the last time you saw the Catholic Church in the streets with their Christ the King, and nobody touched them. But because we are the indigenous people of Biafra, because we have reason to celebrate our identity, they have come after us. And because Nigeria have been, you know, the line in Nigeria was just divided in two. You are either a Christian or a Muslim. So, of course, we the indigenous people of Biafra, based on what the Europeans brought to us, we Biafrans, once you see any Biafra on earth, anywhere, you now say they are Christians, because we accept that is the one that closer to us. That is what we saw in our history. That when you look at the Old Testament, you saw that everything that was written about Jews, about Biafran cultural heritage, our way of life, is just everything about us. So that is why we accepted it the way it is, Christianity. But why is it that when Christians protest in Nigeria, when Christians march the streets of Nigeria, they don't touch them? They simply want us to hide our identity. That's our Jewish identity, because what the Europeans brought to us, they brought Christianity, and you are either a Christian or a Muslim. That is what they have brought. And today we know that the Islamic world is taking over Nigeria. So it's about, and of course when you talk about Christianity today, the Islamic world is swallowing Christianity. It's like they are trying to match the two, and you cannot really differentiate. You see those who are supposed to be Christians, you see them behaving like Muslims, you see them doing the same business. And of course, when you look at Nigeria today, Nigeria has become an Islamic nation. There's no doubt about it. You see Boko Haram there rising to take over, and of course the Asorok, we know what's happening there in the north, because this country has been an Islamic nation, and of course Christianity today have submitted automatically. They have overrun it, and we the indigenous people, we just have to rise up to our identity, celebrate our cultural heritage, just stand up for who we are, and we have identified ourselves that we are the indigenous people of Biafra, and we are Jews, and for that reason they are angry with us. They are not happy. They don't want us to celebrate our identity. They have come as usual with their oppressive security forces with all their weapons because they know we have none. Of course, they keep arresting us because they know we have no weapons, we have nothing to fight back, and that is why you see them. They continue to arrest and they continue to abduct. They continue to dehumanize us and treating us like common criminals when we did not commit any crime. There was nothing wrong in marching down the street like the Catholics do, like other religious bodies do. There's nothing wrong in marching the streets of Biafra, our own land. There's nothing wrong in that. They are only oppressing us, suppressing us for our Jewish identity, for our Jewish heritage, and that is why you see what is going on. So we have not committed any crime. It's only that they have hated us, the indigenous people of Biafra.
All right, thank you very much. In case you're just joining us, this is Sunrise Daily News Analysis on Biafra Television. We are reaching you from Biafra land, and of course we are looking at the the abduction of over 51 Biafra Jews who were in the streets of Omaha protesting. Of course, it's very important the world know about it. Okay, we are glad to announce to you that our phone lines are back, our WhatsApp line is back, and of course we appreciate those who have made it possible. We really appreciate them. So our phone line isn't the old one you used to have. For the moment, it will be rectified soon, but for now our WhatsApp line is 0905 6608 583. Our WhatsApp line, sorry, the phone line remains the same, but the WhatsApp line has been changed for now, and it is +234 905 660 8583. Our WhatsApp line, I repeat, +234 905 660 8583. Then our direct phone line is 070 203 53706. The direct phone line 0702 0353 and of course our Skype and our Facebook is Sunrise BTV. Sunrise BTV. Call us and make your contribution. In 30 minutes time the lines will be open. Very important. All right, so according to a report, there is among over 51 people who were arrested, who had someone who is disabled, and of course we have the pictures everywhere. And how could the Nigerian security have arrested such a person?
You see, we have seen and we have witnessed all kinds of torture. We have witnessed all kinds of humiliation. And of course, human rights abuse. When we talk about human rights abuse, there's nobody, there's no group of people, no indigenous people anywhere in the world that have been persecuted as Biafrans today. Of course, but was it not last year also something like that? A similar thing happened in Onitsha. I think it was a military man, a disabled man, just because he had a Biafran flag. You know, you remember that crippled man?
Yeah.
Just because he had a Biafran flag, you know, he loved it that he put it in his wheelchair, and the Nigerian military went there and they molested him. They dealt with him and took him away. A crippled man, a beggar. We are not talking not just talking about a disabled. We are talking. That man is a beggar, a street beggar that sits at the roadside begging just because he had a flag with him. So this time around also, you see a man, you know, Nigerian government, you see, when we talk about how heartless and of course the level of oppression that we suffer in Biafra land, that is the level, because they are heartless. They don't care about anything. Even if you're a chicken, once they see any chicken or anything, even if you're dying and they see you identifying with Biafra, they don't care about you. They don't care. They have no human sympathy. They have no reason. Of course, they don't reason like humans. They just sold their hearts, their soul to the devil to make sure that they oppress the kingdom of light. That is what they are doing. So it's about you, the indigenous people of Biafra, being oppressed by this evil, murderous government. They call the Islamic State of Nigeria, because we are not in Nigeria. We are the indigenous people of Biafra, and of course, as such, they don't even care. Once they see you and you are breathing, you need to just have a little breath in you, and you are Biafran. They are going to deal with you. That is what they are doing. So they deal with everybody. They kill the widows. They rape our mothers. They have done everything to us. They rape our mothers. They rape our pregnant women. Didn't you know that they also cut open the pregnant women women and brought out the fetus during the war. There's nothing they have not done to us. There is no people on earth, anywhere on earth, that have been suppressed and that have been dealt with as much as indigenous people of Biafra. But you see, this is the time we are standing up and we are saying enough is enough. And when we are saying enough is enough, because the killings have continued, because the adoptions have continued, the oppressions have continued, human rights abuse at the worst level is happening right before our very eyes, and we have no option than to say enough is enough. And you see our people marching down the streets, just raising our hands, raising our flags, singing on the streets because of our religious identity, because of our cultural heritage, because of who we are. You see them, including a disabled person, including a less privileged person, including children. You know, when you look at those who they are actually adopted, you ask yourself, what is the reason behind this? They adopted women, young ones, and young boys and girls, just because they identify themselves as Jews. Simple. That was their crime. So tell me, when it has become a crime anywhere in the world with identifying yourself on the religious platform, is it a crime? We are celebrating our identity. We are simply who we are, and we are standing up singing in our own land, and we are not strangers. Because you know, sometimes you talk about strangers going to other places. We are right at our own corridor, singing and marching down the streets of Biafra land, the holy land of Biafra. And that is where these men that they say they don't fear Chukwu Kabiama, they don't even respect human rights, they have no respect to humanity. They came and they attacked and adopted our people, and they are keeping them there. And of course, you see these things happening right before our very eyes, right before the international community, right before the world of injustice, right before our very eyes. This is happening, and it's just happening. And you know, sometimes you wonder, why would Biafra suffer to this level? Why would the indigenous people of Biafra, why would innocent people that left their homes just to celebrate in the streets of Biafra be behind bars? You know, they are left behind bars, they are locked up, they are in chains, just because of our identity. And of course, we see it happening, including the fatherless, including the motherless. That is the worst oppression. And the international community has actually looked at it, and we look at it today, that yes, we now live in an oppressive world. The only thing we have known since in Biafra land, the only thing we have seen them doing since the existence of Nigeria is about oppression. It's about killings. The only experience we have had is about depression. The only experience we have had is about loss of our loved ones, loss of our uncles, loss of our children, loss of our beloved ones. And now you see it has not stopped. We keep asking for what we are asking, because what we have been suffering before the Civil War has continued. It's our very eyes. What happened is not new. We have been experiencing this, but the Nigerian government simply continued. And of course, in a situation where they have known that we, the indigenous people of Biafra, are not giving up. We cannot sell our heritage, we cannot sell our identity. They have known it. But the worst part of it is that the international community is keeping mute, because of course we have known that the Nigerian government are not ready. The evil government, the Islamic government of Nigeria, they are simply out there for Islamization agenda. But why would the international community be keeping quiet after all the efforts, after even the ICC, human rights bodies are aware of what is happening in Biafra land, yet the international communities are keeping mute? It's something, but it is something that sometimes when we look at it, and we just need to stand up and take what belongs to us, because it's as if the world we live in has they connive with the same murderous government, and we are helpless. We just need to stand up and fight for what belongs to us, because we have no option.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, before we go ahead, we'll have to have a look at the picture of this young man I just talked about. That is David Ibokwe. And you know what amazes me, what baffles me, is the fact that this young man lost his both arms. And how could he have attacked the Nigerian government if at all they were arrested for maybe any criminal act?
You see, when you talk about criminal acts, the whole world are aware of it. The Nigerian government themselves know it, that these young ones are there, and you see them not just this time, they are there on their religious, they came with their religious attire, and that is it. We, the indigenous people of Biafra, are there in the streets, and of course in our holy form, if they touch the apple of Chukwu Kabiama, that is what they have simply done. And they are doing it even to somebody who have no arms. You know what it means, somebody who has lost both hands. And you see the Nigerian government without pity, without any form of remorse. And this is the one. They go for the feeble ones. They go for the less privileged. That is one thing. The Nigerian government actually want to choke hands deep into our eyes. That is why you see them. When they want to kill, they kill our women. They abduct our women. They rape our women. They go for the feeble ones. They go for the helpless. And when we are fighting, we are not just fighting for the strong. We are out fighting for the weak. We are fighting for human rights to be protected, because we deserve to be protected. Look at our brother who has no hands, who needs help, because he is there because he's helpless and he identified. And of course, as a Biafran, we are there for him, we are fighting together. He is doing his own part because he has suffered in the same oppression. And the same murderous government that is always killing children, killing boys and girls. Remember that when we talk about the genocide they have committed against the indigenous people of Biafra, 1967, more children and women died out of starvation, out of hunger. That is Nigerian government. They are interested in dealing with the less privileged. They kill without remorse. They get weapons from all over the world to make sure that they don't just suppress, they kill and they dehumanize you. Make sure that you don't raise your head forever. That is what they are out for. That is what they have been assigned to do. That is when you talk about Nigeria, you are talking about a company that it's on assignment, because Nigeria is not a country, to make sure that the indigenous people are suppressed. And that is why anytime you're trying to make yourself human, you try to bring out the humanity in you, they oppress it and suppress it. That is why they don't care about the less privileged. We care about our less privileged, and we have to fight for our brothers and sisters. They must get them released, and we have no option, because we cannot watch this thing continue to happen in our land.
All right, thank you very much. I would like to read from the report we have from Punch newspaper. I think there are some things we need to pick up from there. According to Punch newspaper, said the Abia State Police Command on Tuesday halted a peaceful protest by some Judaism faithful in Omaha and arrested 51 persons said to have been involved in the remonstrance. The Judaism faithful, who came out in their hundreds, said they were voicing out their frustration at the Nigerian state to demand a state of their own where they could practice their religion as a homogeneous people. Clad in their religious attire of white overall and caps, the protesters were said to have chanted songs in Hebrew language. The protesters were said to have taken off from the Afaruku part of Omaha and made their way through Factory Road, Bank Road and Club Road before the police intercepted them. The police public relations officer in the state, Mr. Godfrey Werner, confirmed the arrest of the protesters. 51 persons comprising 41 males and 10 females were picked up by police for carrying the Biafran insignia during the protest, he said. The protest march was, however, said to be peaceful as commercial activities were in full swing at the city center, popularly known as Isi Gate, before the police swooped on the protesters and fired tear gas canisters to disperse them. As a result, the protesters ran for safety, while traders abandoned their wares in order to escape inhaling the irritating gas. It was learned that pandemonium ensued as movement to and from the city center ceased, with drivers making frantic U-turns to avoid the mist formed by the tear gas. It was gathered that while the first batch of riot policemen were battling to arrest the protesters, who were running and regrouping to continue their march, troops arrived in 4 Hilux vans and an armored personnel carrier as reinforcement. It was observed that on getting to Club Road, the troops, joined by additional policemen, watched the protest from a distance until the police finally ended the protest before midday. Meanwhile, an elderly man among the protesters, who gave his name as Israel El Ibe, told journalists that the protest was aimed at expressing their desire to have a Jewish state in Biafra land, because we are Jews in Biafra land and we are tired of staying in Nigeria where nothing works. Okay, so what do you have to say about this narration by Punch newspaper?
Yes, the newspaper simply have narrated what transpired. One, it was clear that our people were there on a peaceful march. They were not causing any problem, and nobody. The only crime they pointed out was our flag, that our people were carrying the Biafran insignia, and that is the only thing the Nigerian government.
That was the only offense.
That is the only offense that they identify with indigenous, and of course with themselves, because they are the indigenous people of Biafra. We are the indigenous people of Biafra. So the newspapers of course, the Punch newspaper this time around have simply given a clear narration of what happened. That the indigenous people of Biafra just being on the street to, of course, express themselves are the happenings. Because when you look at Nigeria, you look at the condition of things in the evil contraction they call Nigeria, you actually want to ask yourself, where am I? Am I really living as human being? Am I human? Am I human enough to express myself? Am I human enough to express my existence? Am I human enough? You know, is there any right anywhere in the world that protects me as a person? Because you look at yourself, where are the values of being human and of course living in Nigeria? The values, whatever that makes you human, you lost it as soon as you became a Nigerian. Because Nigeria represents death. When you are talking about Nigeria, you're talking about death. And of course, we not just frustration, we have experienced everything negative in Nigeria. Nigeria represents death. Nigeria represents oppression. Nigeria represents human rights abuse at the climax. Nothing that is supposed to be associated with human beings you can find in Nigeria. Everything you see in Nigeria is in the negative side. But our people being there just to express themselves, just coming out to the street and saying, we are the indigenous people of Biafra. And of course, as Jews, we want a Biafran state. We want the Jewish state of Biafra. Simple. That is what they simply came out to talk about. They came out to express themselves. And the Nigerian murderous government, the same way they have been killing us, the same aggression, have to put it to a stop, have to come out and use everything in them. And of course, you talk about the Boko Haram there in the north. They are not stopping them. They are not fighting Boko Haram. They are not fighting the Fulani herdsmen. They, in fact, they connive with them. But when we, the indigenous people of Biafra, stand up to ask for what belongs to us, that is when you see the Nigerian government roll out their armored tanks. Imagine them coming out with the same armored tanks that they couldn't use to stop Boko Haram in the north. They are coming with it on indigenous people without any arms, without any form of ammunition. They are coming with people, even children, with armored tanks. And with the fire tear gas, they fire every dangerous thing just to make sure that they end our existence. Nigeria is about oppression. So what they have simply narrated is a bit of our problems, because what has happened is beyond what it has been happening since before 1967. It has been happening. That was why we had Biafra 1967, and that is why even after 3 years they said it was going to be reconciliation and rehabilitation. It never took place. They kept killing us, and that is why you see them doing it again, because they don't want us to be who we are. They want to oppress us and suppress us and make us live below whatever that a human being should be. They want us to be animals and worse, lower than the lowest animal on earth. But we have refused that. We are human beings and we can live in our land.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's look at reactions coming from the so-called leaders. You know, up until now, we are yet to hear an official statement from the governor of Abia State, that's Governor Okeziikpeazu. What's your take on that? Is it right that such a thing happened in his state, and up until now he hasn't said a word?
You see, when you look at Governor Okeziikpeazu, look at all the politicians. You know, when we talk about the politicians, there are something that you look at them, they are wrapped in Nigeria, Islamic State. Everything about them, because they represent the interests of the Fulani Caliphate. And when things like this happen, you see them, sometimes they will even tell you they are not aware. You would see a whole governor telling you sometimes that they are not aware, that they never knew. And the police will say they are there just going out on their normal duty and they met people causing violence. That is what police would say at the end of the day. So the governor don't take responsibility for their action. Okay, up until now, look at the invasion of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So look at what he kept doing. Keep adding more problems to the world that he had created, because there in Abia State, there the governor of Abia State, seeing what is happening, if he is not part of this evil that is going on, if he is not part of the Fulani Caliphate, if he is not part of the Islamization agenda, why would the governor not step out to stop that oppression? Why would the governor not stop the police immediately? Why would the governor not order that they release the innocent people immediately? He was supposed to step. He was even supposed to drive to that scene and see what was happening. Because, you see, we are talking about a government that is not our government. We are talking about a foreign body. You know, they just use we talk about the indirect rule system that is alive and well, and that is why you see when you look at them, any politician that swore to one Nigeria simply swore to the Islamization agenda, because that is the only agenda in Nigeria. That is the only thing that you see Nigeria having, because after the expiration of Nigeria, after the British license to do business, you know, Nigeria is British business center. As soon as it expired, they enthroned the Islamic government, and that's why you see in the north the Sharia law is running. They have and you see that even the Christian bodies, you see them trying to match them together. You see that today now Christians cannot differentiate the Christian bodies and the Islamic bodies, because they are becoming one. They are getting themselves together. So see what is happening. What is because the governor is part of the Islamization agenda. That was why the killing that took place in Omaya, in fact, they masterminded, because he's working and he's loyal to the Fulani Caliphate. He is not doing duty for the people. He is not doing duty for the indigenous people. He is not doing duty for the people of the state. He doesn't represent their interest, because the indigenous people have a right. There are fundamental human rights, including the right of association, including the religious identification. All those things, they are fundamental. They are rights. And of course, we are also in our land. We are not strangers. We are not imported from anywhere. We are marching down our own land. So you see, the governor keeping mute is because he is part of the ongoing Islamization agenda, and of course he would do everything that the Islamic body there in the north, the Fulani Caliphate, have instructed him to do. And the whole thing is rap and make sure that you oppress the people, oppress their religious interests, oppress their quest for freedom, and make sure that you keep Nigeria one. So it's an attempt to keep that evil thing that they call Nigeria one. But we cannot continue in this mess, because this nonsense must stop.
All right, thank you very much. Let us look at the silence of the Nigerian government. What do you think?
If you start looking at the Nigerian government, you're looking at a complex thing, because Nigerian government in the first place, when serious, when you have millions of people, thousands of people dying, they don't even talk about it. In fact, they stop the press from covering it. You know that there in the north, see how Boko Haram are killing innocent people. See how the Fulani Caliphate and of course the Fulani herdsmen have been killing in the Middle Belt. What is the role of the government? The government is only paying heavily to make sure that the media, in fact, hide it, don't let people know it. So the government themselves want to hide it. They don't even want to say anything about it. So when you look at the Nigerian government, you are looking at a government that is there to protect crime, because there's nothing you can identify Nigeria if not a criminal government. Nigeria is there to protect every crime that is committed against humanity. That is it. That is why all the crimes, all the criminal things happening, look for them in what they call Nigerian government. That is what you see. Because anything positive, bring it to Nigeria, it becomes negative. So the Nigerian government will even pay media houses to hide it, not to report it to the international community. So you're looking at Nigeria, you're looking at a complex negative situation that cannot be fixed, that cannot be addressed, that cannot be handled, because Nigeria is not a government, it's an inspired entity that is looking for of course the Islamic body are working hard to overtake it, and that is why we cannot watch this nonsense continue to happen in our land.
All right, thank you very much. Can we look at this? Can we reconcile what is happening presently to the persecution of the Jews by the Nazis in the past? Of course, not just in the past. If you're looking at the persecution of the Jews, up until now, the Jews are still being persecuted. The state of Israel is under serious heavy attack. If not that they have developed self-defense, they would have wiped Israel out of the surface of the earth. But because Chukwu Kabiama, the maker of heaven and earth, will not allow it to happen. Because if not that Israel has developed and have become one of the strongest nations on earth, they would have been wiped out of the surface of the earth. The same thing that is happening to Biafra is what is happening to the state of Israel. Because they were being persecuted until they began to defend themselves. They were persecuted, and it's only in self-defense they were able to secure their peace. When you talk about the peace of Israel today, you talk about self-defense. So Israel, the persecution of Israel is this persecution of Biafra. Is the same thing that's happening. And that's why when we look at the Jewish state of Israel, look at the Jewish state of Biafra, you cannot differentiate. You can differentiate because what is happening to us, the same experience that every Jew you see going
out around the world is the same experience we Biafrans have. You cannot differentiate it. The same way they were killed. Remember that time was the time when doctors practice with fetus in they just cut the body of a Jew open, and of course a pregnant woman, and bring the fetus and the life practice. That was how those doctors practiced with them. So that was the level of oppression. So Biafrans are as much as oppressed as the Jews anywhere on earth. The state of Israel today is under heavy attack. The same way they attack us. The only difference is that the Jewish state of Israel is defending themselves today, while the Jewish state of Biafra are yet to stand up and defend ourselves. That is the only thing, because they have been oppressing us, they have been attacking us, and they have been killing us. But you know, we are here to stand up to defend ourselves, which we cannot run away from. We must do it, because you know, there's this saying in my place, you can't run away from it. Until we stand up and defend ourselves, this oppression will continue. And that is why we must, as a matter of urgency, stand up and face what is facing us, because the killings have continued.
All right, thank you very much. Our lines are now open for you to call and make your contribution. But before that call, let's also look at the position of, you know, can we look at it from the angle that Nigerian government is trying to, they are trying to dare Israel. We know what's happening between Israel and Palestinians, and of course we know how much Nigerian government has been against Israel. We know how she had fought so hard against Israel, trying all means to ensure that they show their, you know, they show their anger, or they show not supporting Israel. They show their grievances against Israel by supporting Palestinians, and of course now coming to touch the Jews in Biafra land just to provoke Israel. What do you think?
You see, there's no doubt about it that Nigeria is one of the countries that is against Israel. It is clear. In fact, the recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital, Nigeria voted against it. So it is clear that when you talk about those who oppress Jews, Nigeria is one of, you know, when you talking about the oppression of Jews, who are responsible for it? You talk about a terrorist Islamic group terrorizing the world. That is what we see on earth today. And where are those terrorists? You know, Nigeria today has become the capital. You know, when you look at terrorism today, Nigeria is leading. So when you look at the enemies of Israel, you see, there's no mistake. You don't need to mistake it. Nigeria is leading against Israel. It's one of the countries that have hated Israel so much. It's just that they fear Israel, so they don't come out so open. But in practice, in action, they have hated Jews. And they don't want to see Jews. They don't want to see Jews anywhere. And that is why you see what they did. They are doing it. So when you talk about go to the United Nations, if the decisions are taken against it, they always vote against Israel. And they always support Israel's enemies. You know, the Nigerian government are in support of, are there working against Israel. When you talk about Palestine, they are supporting Palestine. And of course, anything you see, any direction you see Israel go in trying to defend herself, in trying to, that is where the Nigerian government will oppose. So the Nigerian government are core enemies of the Jewish state of Israel. So they don't come open because they are afraid of Israel. So when you talk about those who, terrorism today is breeding, Nigeria is breeding terrorism, and it's not being hidden. What is happening today? Why you see that Nigeria is working hard to have to make sure that they overrun the Christian bodies, to make sure that it becomes a strong Islamic state, so that they can take a position and of course face Israel. They want to lead the fight against the state of Israel. That is why you see what is happening is happening. So in our own land, they arrest our people. They don't just want you to identify yourself as Jew. Of course, we see that if it was just about Christianity, you know that yes, the Nigerian system was colonized with Christianity, and talk about Islam. And of course, Christians, what you have today in Christianity in Nigeria is a kind of Islamic Christianity, you know. But we are, you're talking about Biafrans, and you're talking about Judeo-Christian people. We are just practicing our religious identity, and we are Jews. So the same hatred that the Nigerian government have against Israel, that is what they simply transfer to us, and that is what is playing out before our very eyes.
All right, thank you very much. We'll have a caller on WhatsApp. Hello, caller on WhatsApp. Okay, well, that's a call. Before the call comes in again, can we look at the Israel Constitution? I know of recent they adopted a constitution to ensure they stand up for every Jew wherever, all Jews all over the world. So, in this case, do you think the attention is needed?
Yes, our leader, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, also made it clear that there's a responsibility for the state of Israel to help Biafra, to defend Biafra, because we are the indigenous people of Biafra, and we are talking about the Jewish state of Biafra. So if there's anybody that needs Israel attention on earth today, we are the one. Israel need to say something to the international community about us.
All right, we have a caller on the phone. Hello, caller on the phone.
Hello.
Hello, caller on the phone line. Can you hear me?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Hello.
Oh, please, in case you've forgotten, before you call on this platform, ensure you turn down the volume of your listening device. It's very important so we can communicate effectively. Yeah, what's the name you are calling from?
Very well. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you.
Yes, my name is Mazi Sunday. I'm calling you from Igocha.
Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Mazi Ikechukwu. My name is...
Sorry, you are not listening. We'll have another caller there on the phone. Hello, caller on the phone.
Hello, morning.
Thank you, good morning. What's the name you are calling from? Caller on the phone line, are you there? All right, I think he's not there. We'll have to go ahead. Hello, are you there? All right, so we have another caller there. Hello, call on the phone.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. What's the name you are calling from?
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Hello.
That's too bad. We have a call on Skype. Hello, call on Skype.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning from here. What's the name you are calling from?
This is BIAFRA Python calling from Thailand.
You're welcome. Go ahead and make a contribution.
Mazi, you are saying the truth. Do you understand? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go on.
Yes, because now Mazi have analyzed the whole story. We know the truth, and I don't want anything that is not the truth. That is why I always waiting for BTV, Ebalo, the only place they say the truth.
Okay.
Because now this platform, we have the opportunity to interact and to expose the lies of the enemies against us, because we always ahead of them, you know. Are you listening?
Yes, we are listening. Please go ahead. Go on.
Okay. So what we are saying now is that I was on Twitter. I saw many notifications about our brother, David Ipob, the one who is armless. They do not have sympathy for our people, you know, even the disabled. They arrested them. and maybe the kids of them, and they took them to CPS and Omaya. Or I do not know where they take them. Maybe it's the CID. Or maybe to area command, you know, in Ipob, because they supported the freedom of our people under Jewish religion, which is our right, which is what we want. We do not want people who will not lie, who will lie to us. We want people who will say the truth to support us in truth and dishonesty. That is what we want. We are tired of hypocrisy. We are tired of. It's not about money. Even if how much we they bring, the money they share them is not enough to take care of the masses, because they have looted the money away long time already. So we are not interested in their bribe, because they cannot make things right. They cannot give electricity. They cannot give water. They cannot give internet. So they have nothing to offer. And that is why I am always waiting for Radio Biafra BTV, you know, in our place. But I know it's not easy, because enemies, they are there, they are monitoring, they are trying to get information, but they will lose. Because this show is the best show, because it's from the heart of Biafra land where we get information, knowing what is happening, you know.
All right, please, can you try and summarize? We have lots of callers who are waiting on the other lines. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. We'll have a call on WhatsApp. Hello, call on WhatsApp.
Hello.
Hello, call on WhatsApp. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning to you.
Good morning. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah.
What's your name and where are you calling
Hello,
from?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
My name is Mazi.
Call on the phone. Hello.
Remain Mazi Sunday. I am calling from Ingwacha precisely.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes, I'm from Ingwacha. My name is Mazi Sunday. I'm calling from Ingwacha precisely. Are you getting me?
Yes, please go ahead. I think we have another caller there. You are not listening. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. My contribution this morning concerning what people are saying. On Tuesday, what about our brothers and sisters at Maya, Faru Ibetu? You know, whatever thing that whatever that is happening to us, we should not be very surprised, because he has been employed, planned already against us, to Islamize us. But we are very much happy that God brought Namde to help us to speak on our behalf. So I know soon and later we shall come to something that will be a forgotten history. We are going to emerge as our own country. So that is what I want to contribute this morning.
Thank you very much. We'll have another caller there on the phone. Hello.
To help us to speak now. So I know soon and later we shall come.
Hello, we can hear you. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
This is really, really bad. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You are not listening. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead. Please, before you call on this platform, ensure you turn down the volume of your listening device. How come we forgot so soon? Maybe because we've not been taking calls for a long time. Please, 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 ensure you follow the rules. Call on the phone. Hello. Yes, good morning. What's the name you are calling from?
Yeah, good morning from the land of the brave and home of the free.
Go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am Onyemukechukwu. Please don't ask me about my surname because it's given to me by the Britain. And for the benefit of those who do not understand what Onyemukechukwu simply means no one knows the will of God. I am calling you directly from...
Please, can you speak up?
Yeah, the can called Port Harcourt. And I hail from Bering, the local government, under the province where a people called Ojuzokalo comes from. I simply want to ask a question. I love the program this morning. The Constitution of Nigeria, I come to realize that it was written by Abdulsalam Abubakar, and since 1999 it has been working perfectly for them. Then I have a good brother Spain, and there's so much love the struggle too. I won't say no to that. But there is a little misconception, or maybe should I say not getting much clear about it, that they engaged me while listening to this radio this morning, and they were asking, they said no, that was a military regime, that the constitution has implied that Nigeria is an Islamic place, and they did not want me to explain because they think I was trying to induce them to listen to our radio. So I said, okay, let me quickly ask, which constitution is Nigeria currently using? Because I know, in as much as I'm concerned, Sharia is working perfectly till tomorrow in Northern State today, and we call this place a secular state. And not only that, as a secular state, it simply means there is no other authority that will rise up in a parallel with the one we call a secular state. But they keep on telling me that I do not understand this. That it's like we are creating hatred among others. I said no, this is not about hatred. Constitutionally, Nigeria is an Islamic place. They say no, it's not a constitutional thing. That has gone past. It was Obasanjo or IPB, like my brother said down here, that instigated them that we should go on. But recently, that Nigeria is no longer an Islamic place. So I now quickly want to ask you, people who are enlightened more than I down here, please, can you just say it audibly? Let me understand and let them listen to know that this place is either an Islamic place or it's either a secular state. Thank you. This is just the question this morning. Thank you, all of you.
Of course, when you're looking at the...
Thank you very much.
The Constitution of Nigeria, we know that Nigeria just tried to put something that they present to the international community as their constitution. But the first thing every military government is always doing is to dump the constitution. They suspend the constitution if there is one. Because if there was a constitution, why is it that human rights are being abused and it is not being addressed? So what is the role of the constitution? Because when you're talking about democratic nations, Nigeria is not one of them. We know Nigeria as an Islamic state. What my brother is simply talking about is that is Sharia law. We knew that while Abdulsalami was writing a constitution for the rest of the people, a kind of constitution, military kind of constitution that he used, of course, to lord it over the rest of the people. Even the same constitution they wrote, they don't respect it. They don't have respect for it. But there in the north, what is running is the Sharia law, and that is what they are using to govern the people. So when you are looking at them to respect the constitution, they don't respect it because they are using the Sharia law.
All right, we have a call on WhatsApp. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning. What's the name you are calling from?
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
Hello?
Hello, what's the name? Where are you calling from? I hope you're not listening to your device.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling from Lagos.
Go ahead.
I'm listening to your program. Okay, I'm listening to your program this morning. It's a pleasure to have you. On what you are discussing about the Jewish state or the Israelites supporting Biafra, we need Israelites to support Biafra. And the one thing I noticed, that listening to the Prime Minister of Israel at United Nations recently, when he knew that outside the United Nations, they will to have a lot of supporters, a lot of countries that support them, that they are friends. But when it comes to United Nations, in fact, there are few people voting for Israel. But that doesn't stop them to stand on the human right, for the Israel's right to defend itself. So on our hello?
We can hear you.
Hello? Yeah, on one side here, Biafrans expecting United Nations to come and support us. And we already noticed the way they act. Don't say anything unless something serious is happening. Like now, I just suggest if there's any need to be not with their people, molest people, report it to the United Nations, so that whatever anything is happening, they will say that they are not informed. They are not informed. But we keep the strength. We keep the resolute, pushing what we are pushing, because with God is majority, and we believe that first comments God's own project, and we achieve that. I thank you all for keeping this moving, so that we will reach the Africans around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll have a caller on the phone line. Hello. Call on phone line. Can you hear me?
Hello.
What's the name? Where are you calling from? Hello, call on the phone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Hello, good morning. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, good morning. My name is Onyeka. I'm calling from Aba, BIAFRA land. I'm happy with your call this morning. So I'm calling to say something. It's just that with the way things are going in Biafra land, I don't like it. The way Nigerians are marginalizing Biafrans is too much. The marginalization is too much. And they are killing Biafrans. And what is it that our people are doing about it? We need to do something about this before they will kill us. The killing is too much. Every day people are missing. Look at what happened in Memoir the other day. Just for a peaceful protest, they arrested or abducted people and some get shot. These things are getting out of hand, and Biafrans need to stand up to do something. This wickedness is getting out of hand, and people are worried. People are worried. Our leader, Martin Kanu, should do something. We should not stay like this, looking at them killing us one by one. They are just reducing us in numbers. When something will happen, which people are going to retaliate, which people are going to fight for us when the time comes. We need to do something on time, please. That's what I just want to say this morning.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, IPUB leadership
the radio, the frequency is not saying anything anymore. Please, maybe some technical issue. You should look on it, please.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
When you look at the level of oppression and suppression that is going on, it has become to the level that we can no longer bear it.
We'll have another caller there. Hello. Hello, are you there? All right, we lost the call. Sorry about that. But please, anyone who call, please should not disengage until we switch live on air. It's important. We are having a little delay, so when your call is taken, you have to wait for a while to hear us before you go ahead. Sorry about that. I think with time it will be corrected. We'll have a caller there. Hello, caller on the phone. Call on the phone, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
okay,
my name is Uchechku Godwin. I'm calling from Lagos. Yeah, what I have to say concerning, and I'm a Biafran anyway. Concerning my Biafra land, our governor over there got that we indigenous people of Biafra, we are the one that elected them there. This is what they forgot. They were once just a civilian, an ordinary person like us. But we gave them the power, we put them there. And they are there killing us. We, indigenous people of Brafra, we have the right, we people that voted them, we have the right to vote them out from there. Why must they stand up killing us because we said no to their evil actions? Why must they be killing us? Why must they be killing us because we stand up and say no to their evil actions? We cannot leave them killing us. I want to address the world. When World Trade Center collapsed, we indigenous people of Biafra protested. We weren't happy. The Nigerian government on our protestation, when we are protesting, Nigerian government armies came against us. They were killing us. They arrested us. Why? Why in the north they rolled up Osama bin Laden's picture, hailing him. Nobody did anything. They didn't arrested. When Donald Trump was inaugurated, indigenous people of Biafra, we were happy that Donald Trump won the election, because that very beast called himself Obama, that had a Islamist agenda to Islamize the world was pushed away. We indigenous people of Biafra, the Jews in Nigeria, we are happy because we know that the right person is being made a president in the United States. We are happy. Then when we are happy, praising God that God has given us somebody like Trump, the Nigerian soldiers, they weren't happy seeing us as indigenous people of Biafra rejoicing. They humiliated us, they arrested us, killed us. Why must they go on killing us? Why must they go on killing us? Why must they be treating us in this way? I'm trying to address Donald Trump. Dear Donald Trump and people of the United States, I know you are hearing us. We stand for truth. We indigenous people of Biafra, we stand for truth. We have the right to live. We have the right to demonstrate our freedom. We have the right to speak. We have the right to claim that belongs to us. This is now time. You has to come for our aid, because these people have been killing us for 60 years. They have been killing us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have another caller there on the phone. Hello, caller on the phone.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you. What's your name?
Good morning.
Good morning. What's the name you are calling from?
I cannot hear you well, but let me see what I want to say. Please, you go because so what I want on Agrega. Oh, my sister Kuru. So get yeah, I marry her again because the man now was so much now, okay now. And then back and then I have never can I have because I'm my young DJ, I can't have him. Open up, Bob Gallo, like I'm a go on. This I didn't make too much. I never, but this money got from no, I'm a boss from that was like I'm money again. I want Nigeria in about too much. I know about too much. Anyway, they will say again. But don't be here and I'm wanted. I get one down board. Go back and want to jam. Because I'm my money fair game. I'm not one international. And no problem who got one international. I'm money fair game. And take us up on this way. Nobody to go back to Ruby. I have a Yaka. Come on here, come here, get once and for all. Yeah, me and now, you. Come here, get forever. Come here, get end. So that come on here and go. Because since I have to go in your game, and then now 2 more, almost to one mother, which I want money program. Thank you very much. Because please.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have some minutes to go. We'll have another caller there. Hello. Hello? Okay, you're not listening. Please, when you are calling, ensure you turn down the volume of your listening device. And when your call is taken, you wait for a while so that you will get connected on air before you speak. Hello? Call on the phone. Can you hear me?
Hello, good morning. Yeah. This is Chimezie William calling from Rumubushi. I'm from the Mabam in Abam County Council that I reside in Iguacha. I am happy with all your discussions this morning. But my concern is just the brother that just called, and so we are the ones that voted the governors and the rest of them. I want to let the world know and let the friends know that we didn't vote for these people. All these governors and politicians, they manipulated themselves and rigged themselves and killed people, did a lot of atrocities to occupy the positions they are occupying. The only issue is they are occupying those positions in our name, coming to be representing us, but we didn't vote for them. Because had we voted for them, they would have been accountable to us. And what Mazen Namdekan is doing is what they're supposed to have been doing if they were voted in by the people. Because they're supposed to weigh the mind of the people, look for what the people want and represent that. If they couldn't do that, that is why Namdekan got sent him to come and do what the so-called politicians are not doing. So anybody that is thinking that we voted them in, if they are not doing what we expect them, we vote them out, is not possible. We didn't vote them, we cannot vote them out. So that is why we are boycotting Nigeria election and boycotting every boycottable in Nigeria. We don't belong to Nigeria, we are Biafrans for Christ. So I want to encourage every Biafran worldwide that nothing concerns us with this Islamic enclave called Nigeria. Everybody is a slave here. Everybody is a slave here. Both them, they are called the Hausa Fulani and Yorubas. They are all slaves to British people. And when Biafra is taught, all of them will now know that they have become truly free. Because that is when Yoruba, Arewa, and the rest of them, they will be free. Thank you very much. Keep on doing your good work. I'm Chimezie William. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll have a call on Skype. Hello, call on Skype. Call on Skype, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, hello. What channel are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Enechuku. I'm calling from Malaysia. Good morning, BIAFRA. Good morning, our brother, Azi Oriako, and Zubadawai.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Thank you people for what you people are doing, and I'm very happy to see you again. So my little contribution about this is our people. Let's continue to have patience, exercise our patience. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, let our people exercise the patience. It's not today that Nigeria government starting killing us. They're already starting killing us, even though before the war started, before 1960, before 1966 or 1960, they're starting killing us. So, hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you. Please go ahead and try and summarize, please.
So, exercise the patience. The IPOB leaders, our leaders, our great leader, Madnan Dekalu, he know what he's doing. Let everybody exercise the patience. We cannot go to, even though if the Biafra will be restored through war, sure, we are going to get it through war. But now we want to show the world that we are peaceful, and we want a peaceful coexistence as a nation. It's a peaceful nation as we are. When we try all the peaceful means and it fails, and our leaders know, they know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. All the principal officers, they know what they are doing. So our people, let's have the patience. Let's everybody exercise the patience. Nigeria is killing us. It's not today that starting killing us. I know where I was in Mazob in 2006, 2005. How many people they killed in Fege? Nobody account of them. Nobody talk about of them, even though today. So I know how many people they killed. How many people Obasanjo killed in Ode. Should anyone talk about it? So let's exercise our patience. They're already killing us. It's hurry for us, but it's not much hurry to go to war with Nigeria to confront them just because it's hurry for us. Our leader knows what he's doing, and we believe in our leader. And when the time reaches, he is one that's going to command. Let's go, and we march together. So let's everybody not being hurry. When you look what is going on in Nigeria now, look at what is happening in our slave called representative, northern slave called representative. How they're begging Hausas to give them to include them in AFCC nominee. You see them is like they are beggar. They're begging them. So let's wait and see what is going to happen. Something bigger than that is going to happen, and it's very soon. Let's everybody let's exercise our patience. All our farm people, everyone are doing very, very great. All IPOB are doing very, very great, especially those that in Biafra land. But let's everybody exercise the patience. Everything will going to happen in a normal time, in accurate time. Thank you, my great people. And thank you everyone so and all Biafrans. And God bless our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and bless all the principal officers in Biafra land and the diaspora. Thank you, my great people, and God bless you all.
Bless you too. Thank you very much. We have a call on the phone line. Hello.
My name is Friday. I'm calling from Calabar.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a question to ask. Because when they had this man, this policeman, which is the arrested the people, he said that our people, they are proscribed. What is IPOB about this proscribed? When they proscribe this Biafran people.
All right, thank you very much, Master Bright, to attend to that. What is IPOB doing about the prescription? Thank you very much. We'll attend to that. You can listen to us via your TV or your phone.
Of course, we knew Ohaneze, we are those that prescribed the indigenous people of Biafra, and that was why we ended our talk with them. We cannot negotiate with people that prescribed us. So, of course, the prescription didn't gain the international attention they were looking for, so it is a useless one. Of course, there's a letter from the African Union that have asked Nigerian government to stop every further step against the indigenous people of Biafra. So, the African Union has officially written to put that prescription to a stop. So, that is the position of
and of course, presently, we are still in their own court with them based on the prescription.
Exactly.
So, the court case is going on presently. All right, we have another caller there. Hello. Hello, call on the phone. Can you hear me? Call on the phone. Are you there? Call on WhatsApp. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Good morning, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Romanus, but I'm calling from Frankfurt here in Germany. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I would like to commend you all for the wonderful job you're doing. It's a privilege to watch you do this wonderful job of journalism. I'm very grateful. I'm very honored to have people like you, all of you who present to the world all the lies the Nigerian government have been peddling against with BIAFRANs. So the callers does not understand what this struggle is all about, but everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And so I would like to say that you people are doing a wonderful job. It's Chukwuka that's going to reward you for this wonderful job. BIAFRA is coming. I want those that are still doubting, are still thinking that this struggle doesn't work. I want them to understand that BIAFRA is very close to us. BIAFRA is not the option. BIAFRA is the only option. BIAFRA is the only option we have, and remains the only option, and we are going to get it. We are to make a very good country. So I know there were difficulties along the way of getting BIAFRA, but God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, the God that we serve, the Chukwuka that we know, is going to grant us success. Am I still on?
Yeah, you are. Go ahead.
Good. Yes, I know Nigerian government is doing all they can to hide everything under the carpet. But the truth will always prevail. The truth, you can never hide the truth. The truth will always come out. The truth will always come out. They are imposing on the Nigerian citizens. It's just a pity that the Yoruba government here refused to see this. That the man who is handling the affairs of the so-called zoo Nigeria is a man that was imported from a different country and was people were made to believe that he is Buhari. Our dear leader have brought all the evidences. It's very, very open, it's very, very clear that this man is not the man that the Nigerian people wanted to have at the helm of affairs when they voted him or when he was into the system 2015. But very soon, the world is going to laugh to that zoo. The world is going to laugh at Nigeria, and therefore will be proclaimed. So referendum, people doesn't understand the referendum we're asking about. Referendum never meant war, but some Yoruba citizens who doesn't understand what referendum is all about, they always believe and think that referendum is war. It never meant war. It's a process whereby come out and vote democratically if we want to remain an entity called Nigeria or not, which they already knew the outcome. The outcome is going to be 90% minimum. That all of us know. Me myself, I lost hope in Nigeria at the age of 10. So, for not wasting much of your time, I want to congratulate you. I want to thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
The job you're doing is so nice. It's so fantastic. It's a privilege what you both on this BIAFRA television. Please, you are the eye. You are the eye for us. The whole world is watching. The whole world is seeing. Your broadcast is too good. Too good.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. We have a caller on Skype. Hello, caller on Skype. The caller on Skype, can you hear me?
My sister, I just want to say a very big good morning to you and your co-analysis. That's Mazio Reako.
Thank you very much, Pastor Chris Wise.
I would just like crack a little joke, but you know what I want to crack is that both of you disappearance and appearance it has becoming unbearable. I just want to tell you, this disappear and appear again on the screen.
We are sorry about that.
Let this end of this year end with such, because a businessman that always appear and disappear on his business will always lose at the end of the year. But consistency matters in any business. You know, when you consist on the business, it's just like faith. Faith is like hearing. When you continue to hear a particular word consistently, it changes the heart, it changes the mentality, the thinking faculties, the kind of how the incubation, the people's mind. You know, but when you kind of exist today and it lasted for 1 month before you come again, you know, I know it's not your fault, but I'm saying this thing for people that are involved to know. You know, consistency in every struggle matters a lot. Well, let me just get back to the issue. The reason why I called. The reason why I called was there was a brother that just called. I think third person before the last caller. He said they called from Quebec or whatever. He now asked the question what IPOBs are doing. I wanted to ask him, if such people come to the studio to ask you such question, you use their question to answer them. Why? You ask them, where do you belong to any IPOB family? Are you part of IPOB? Because age we have gone far from such questions right now. All we are looking for is people that will break out their initiative, their creativities and creativity mind, kind of system ways that will help us, you know. Because right now, if we are claiming for international intelligence or calling them to come, you notice that for years or decades they are not interested, because we are not Muslims. You know, if we are Muslims, we would have been going viral, making waves, and international communities would have run to our aid immediately, instantly. You know, so what is happening in our nation? Because just like what I watched on screen about the National Assembly's government, you know, though I'm not interested, but this one is very, very much interesting. I don't know if people have the clues of it. I mean, the clues of it anyway. Watch where Abari Bay and this Chepaso Korea and some other south and southeast gather said that what they want to implement concerning EFCC will not hold, and I don't work. And they also stood up to shut down. It was a lot of noisy, and they could not make an way, and they closed the garden. If they are doing like this before, and I mean they are trying to shut it. If they are doing like this before, we would have gone very far. But right now they're reason to say the things that, I mean, the way it is right now, telling them that the inclusive in the government is not working in Nigeria, and they should tell us if we belong in this very country or not. Should they be doing things and kind of employing people from some other regions, but the people from the southeast and south are not representing, you know. So that is to tell you that the Nigeria has divided, because someone stood up and said that this thing they are doing, you know, is the more. So I said, yes, you said the right word. So what are they doing right now? These are the things IPP has brought into a limelight, that people are now selling up fear and now picking up the boldness, and they cannot be able to speak despite the enemies and whatever thing that's happening. That is, by the way. Then those of our brothers, Jewish brothers, has been arrested. That is why our expectations, is what we expected. When we set the pace, when we set the tunes, you know, we are the pipers. When we dictate the tunes to the zoo, when we play the pipe, the zoo will dance to our tunes, and they have did it right now. So which means we have achieved another goal again. So, and I believe hopefully soon others are going to come out very peacefully.
Sure.
And this is where I will stop. And I want to say thank you for continuing with the work. May God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Of course, There's a most we can take, but before we go, we have one lucky caller on WhatsApp. We're going to take your call and you will speak for just 1 minute. Call on WhatsApp. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Ahmad Zochuku. I'm calling from Germany. And I come from Mbise province in Biafra land.
You're welcome.
I thank people for what you guys are doing, enlightening our people, putting us through, and letting us know what is happening around the world, what is happening against us as a people in Biafra land. I know the pain is too much, and concerning what happened 2 days ago in Afaruku, concerning our Jewish brothers protesting, showcasing their anger and supporting world living to make sure that Biafra comes. And I can hear people, trying to, tell the leadership of IPOB to do something about it. I can feel their anger and their pain. It's normal. That is freedom fighting. The enemies cannot fold their hands to watch you get what you want easily. You understand? So we are not happy what is happening, but we know that the leadership of IPOB is working assiduously, very hard to make sure that we put things in place before we march. Like our leader always, we don't want to go to the way of our forefathers to go and miss it. We go and we get it. So like IPOB always do, whenever IPOB set an agenda, the zoo follows. So they want us to follow, which we cannot, because when they provoke us and we carry arms like people are angry now telling us to do, at the end of the day, the same people will blame, hey, you lead them to war and they're killing us. So, like many of them blame Ojukwu also. So we don't want to go that way. And they can never succeed. And that is what their European masters are telling them to do, provoke them to war and label them terrorists or whatever, then they can supply weapons for them. And they cannot succeed this time around. So I urge our people to exercise patience, to pray to God, and believe in what they believe in. Biafra is already there. Brafra is already here. So anybody doubting it, I don't know if that person don't see what is happening. From the look of things, there is no more zoo. Zoo is gone. It's just a matter of time. We'll get our freedom. So I pray that Chukwu Kabema will guide us, give our leader the wisdom, give the IPOB leadership the courage and the wisdom and every enablement and strength to make sure that they do everything humanly possible that will go out of this very mess, because it's getting too much. So I want to beg my people on behalf of IPOB worldwide to exercise patience. Things are getting better very soon. I believe that when we to 2019, which is in a couple of weeks, not too far from now, everybody will smell the breeze of freedom, the breeze of freedom and emancipation. We must emancipate ourselves. From 2019, things must change by God's grace. So I thank you and I praise God to bless every IPOB member and all the freedom fighters all over the world to support us and encourage what we are doing. And I say goodbye from here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Of course, IPOB leadership will do their own best. Okay, like I was asking before the call started coming in, what do you think? Israel can do regards to this?
Yes, it's just a matter of stepping up to their responsibility in defending the Jewish state of Biafra. Of course, Israel have to be at the forefront at this time, and of course, at the international community, and of course, defend Biafra. It is their duty to defend their brothers and sisters who are being killed, who are being oppressed and suppressed. So the Jewish state of Israel have got to stand up and defend the Jewish state of Biafra.
All right, we have a caller on WhatsApp. Hello, caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me?
Hello, my sister. Good morning. And my brother. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for good job that you people are doing. My name is Aikene Ijuku. I am calling from Kenya, Nairobi precisely. We thank Chukwu Okike in this our struggle. We are moving forward. We are moving forward. And for those that are asking what are we doing, IPOB is doing a wonderful job. They are doing a wonderful job. And let me say something. These things that are happening now, it must happen. We are fighting for freedom. We're fighting for freedom. And very soon, Nigerian government are going to see what IPOB are capable of doing. We are not boasting of that. It's not a threat, but that is the reality. And everybody, those that are in Biafra land, should please exercise patience, a little patience. IPOB leaders are doing a wonderful job. They are doing a wonderful job. And Biafra is here to stay. We are not going back. No matter what they do, no matter what they are doing, we are here to stay and here to restore our nation, which is Biafra. We are not going back on it. Our leader is doing a very wonderful job. I really appreciate him. I don't know how to thank him, but he's a great man. I will continue to bless him and guide him and protect him. Join hands, all of you that are in Biafra land, join hands. Let us continue. Let us continue, because that is the only way. May Chukwu Kabiyama bless all of you. And you know, Nigerian government are trying to push Biafrans to the world, but we are not going to dance to their tune. We are going to dance to our own tune, because we are the people that said when we said, our leader said, if we are 7 steps ahead them and they will be following us. It's not whatever they are doing to push us now. We are not going to do. We are not going to dance to their step. We are going to do whatever our leaders say, and that is our own time is the best. Koka Biama bless all of you, and Koka Biama bless Biafrans all over the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Of course, our leader is really trying. Okay, so go ahead.
Yes, when you look at the position of Biafra today, look at Israel as a state, the state of Israel. Of course, the state of Israel have got a lot of things to do for us. They have to stand up there in the United Nations and, of course, at the international community and speak up about Biafra. Because what we are going through, we are fighting for restoration of Biafra in a peaceful way. And of course, there is a responsibility, an international responsibility to the restoration of Biafra. We expect Israel, of course, the state of Israel, to say something, official statement about Biafra. And of course, by doing that, they would lead the way. Of course, in defending, because we are not picking up arms. We are not talking about picking up arms. When it's time, we defend ourselves. And of course, we will have to do that based on, because we are responsible citizens, members of the international community. And of course, Israel being fighting for humanity, fighting for the world. You know, they are the solution to the world you see today. Almost all the countries of the earth are getting.
And of course, they have a constitution. They have a law to protect Jews all over the world.
And of course, they, you know, that constitution, they consciously enacted that constitution for a reason. The constitution the Israel government enacted was because they have known what is happening, they have seen what is happening, and they take responsibility. We must thank them also for that, because you know, there are steps to responsibilities. You know, people are expecting so much because, you know, of what has happened to us over the years. But the truth about it is that things are done step by step, and where we are today, look at least for giving our leader protection. There is a very big step, and of course they are responsible for the help or for keeping our leader in their country, in the state of Israel today. And what is happening, our leader broadcasting from Jerusalem today, is because of the state of Israel. So they have taken a step, and of course we expect more. It's just that until we are free, until we are totally free from the evil contraction called Nigeria, we keep fighting, we keep asking for what you are asking, and we are asking in a peaceful way. So the problem that the evil government of Nigeria created is kept escalating. But you see, the Israel government are responsible, and they are helping. And of course, I see them helping, I see them fighting for us. But they have to come to a point. The time has come that the international community, they have to make an official statement, and of course compel the United Nations, compel other reasonable countries of the earth to recognize the fight for Biafra restoration, because we as a people, there was a country We are not trying to break out of Nigeria. We are not trying to create a country. Biafra is already a country. Biafra is already in existence. Biafra was in existence 1967, and of course we have everything as a nation. All we need to do, since Nigeria failed, because all we have done all the while is to educate the world why Nigeria failed to respect the agreement they reached. Because when they killed us, when they committed genocide, and they said it was time for reconciliation, 3 years after our existence, we went to drawing table, and they said there's going to be reconciliation, rehabilitation and all that. The Nigerian government did not adhere to the, and 50 years on, what they were doing is still happening. So Israel as a nation, of course, we have educated the world, we have explained our plight to them, and our leader today is there under their protection. So we expect so much to happen, and of course we have seen it started happening by them helping our leader. So it's just that we have to expect so much because the oppression is so heavy. So the state of Israel, we thank them for what they have done so far, but they can do more, because the international community must know what is happening, and of course Biafra must be totally free. Until we are totally free to live in Biafra land as free people and walk free in our land as free people, we cannot stop. So we keep asking for more. We keep asking until Biafra is totally restored.
All right, call on WhatsApp. Hello.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. What's your name? You are calling from?
Oliver